We have a car coming. Please wait 1 second. I gotta go ahead and get the camera light on. Woo! There it is. It's the Ark of the Covenant. I'm blind. Oh, son of a gun. Okay, let's do this again. Let's take 563 with the Mark III Toyota Supra. Am I recording? I am. I'm not, just let you guys know, crazy. Action shot. Ooh, what's up, everyone? Today we're working on phase 2 of the Mark III Toyota Supra. I'm really having fun with the new camera. I feel like I'm ready to fight in an 80s action-packed movie, and then I'll have, what's his name, the guy that runs like this. Not modern day, but like, I come in here and I'm gonna fight you. I'm a black belt, you know. I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. To the blood bank. Today we're working on phase 2 of the Mark III Toyota Supra, and that means we got to get this wiring harness back into its spot, as well as, most importantly, make sure things don't start on fire, because some cars need a codifier. This is not one of them. I would like to say that none of my cars need a codifier. No, yeah, I'll stick with that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the... All right, let's see what we can see. Ah, dang, you can see me. You don't want to see me. We got to pull this out for a second. Ooh, don't break the windshield. All kinds of stuff in here. It's a mess. I've made a disaster. Pliers. All right, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the fuzzy kind. What's the fuzzy kind? This is the same stuff that you'd use in BMWs, Mercedes, Teslas, and all the like. We're gonna go ahead, fit inside this car, and try to re-put together our wiring harness. A little goes a long way with this. You don't want it to be like totally disaster. You're gonna find yourself a nice little spot like that. I think I want to be on that side. Yeah, I want to be on that side. Yeah, there's a lot less crap around here. All right, as gentle as gazelle, speed control. We don't need this anymore. Alrighty then. One of the things I did order was brand new weather stripping, so hopefully that comes fairly soon. This thing, this stuff, I can't see what you can see anymore. So all you're gonna really want to do, I don't have any of this buttoned down because we want to get it nice and tight. We don't want to use a whole lot of it. It's fun to find. Oh, that might not be it. No, that is it. Do I not have my pocket knife? I don't have my pocket knife either. You're going to need that, Brian. Ah. There we go. Alright, I need to go get my pocket knife. I'll be back! Ah! Hey, it's snowing! Why? I don't know. Maybe because I live in the Northeast, which is in the New York. I don't know, whatever. Won't come off, go on. We'll have fun stuff. Alright. And I lost it. Good thing is this stuff sticks to itself very well. Bad news. This stuff sticks to itself very well. There we go. Take 2. Call me in the morning. Alright. Don't step on stuff you need. Nice and tight. We want this nice and tight. We're going to start like this so it has a nice spot to catch itself. And we're going to go at a steep angle. We don't have to wrap it completely. That's what they don't do it at the factory. We don't have to do it here. My ankle's still a little messed up from my road trip. So let's not sit like that. Really tight. We want it tight. Also, the more you add to it, ever so often just put a double band. Again, the more you add to it, the more weight you're adding. I use some exterior stuff here because it gives you a nice bond. I'll keep going with this stuff. Don't use the fuzzy stuff outside. The outside stuff is different stuff, which should be in the car somewhere. Oh, it's over there. I know this is everyone's favorite subject when they're working on a car. You can't have more fun than working on the wiring. Nothing about cars is more fun than wiring. If you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you down in Brooklyn. So once we get this all back together, we are going to see if everything starts up all right and we don't have any fires or anything. Okay, we're going to do our double wrap right here because that is our first. We'll go across here, do a double wrap here as well. Again, nice and tight, keep it tight. And we'll do it one more time, right like this. And then we'll keep going. That's only going to be there temporarily. And we're just going to kind of integrate that right here. Now, once we kind of get here, we need to take a second. Oh! I'm all right. Okay. You need to take a second and get a good idea where everything is landing. Because I gotta let you see what we're doing here. Door doesn't open anymore. Oh, this right here has to go behind this bracket. So we'll pull this bracket back off. And then this should sit something sort of like that. And this goes inside here. We have one more repair on this wire that we need to take care of, and then we'll be able to hide this away back where it belongs, get this all mounted back in, tidied up. These need to be wrapped with the exterior stuff, pushed back through. We will have to revisit this section again when we do the AC unit, but not right this second. Once this is all in, we'll be able to put our heating system back in, which I will wipe down this entire firewall with some isopropyl alcohol beforehand. Then we'll take everything out of here and we'll lay down our insulation mat, and then we'll put the interior back in. Pretty straightforward. So what we're going to do is we'll pick this wrap up in a little bit, but I want to show you going with these things here. And this is the exterior stuff. It has better heat resistance, things like that, weather resistance, but it's also really, really sticky. Works out really well for this application. Don't cut your finger off. You need them. And there we go. I'm gonna say let's go. All right, so this should sit just like that. We're gonna pop this sucker off, hold it in place. Make sure you have the orientation correct, because otherwise you're gonna be fighting the wiring harness, or loom if you're not in the United States, however you say it. Nice and tight. Cross. Again, keeping it tight. Cross. And one more loop. Now, I'll tell you right now, don't try tearing this stuff. You're gonna have a bad time. Cut it. It's not like standard electrical tape. Don't use standard electrical tape, by the way. That's terrible. Then, this just pops into place. And now that you have that in place, you'll be able to do the rest. Same method. I'll bring it a little bit closer so you can see the next one. The last one we'll do is this one, because this is a pain in the neck to take out of the firewall. So until we're 100% happy with everything, we're not going to put this one in. We have another one over there just like that. So keep that in mind. Pain in the neck. Make sure the orientation's correct, and we'll show you one more time on this one here. We'll do this one. I think that one is probably the best one in line of view. We're going to make sure we have our orientation correct. Make sure our tape is started, because otherwise you're going to absolutely hate yourself. Pop that off. Keep it nice and tight. One loop, two loop crossover. Keep it tight. One loop, two loop, crossover, one loop. Remember, always don't cut towards yourself like I just did. Make sure she's happy. So again, this will affect the orientation of the next one, which is that one. We'll see if we can't do this one so you can see it as well. Pop that off. Where's the other ones? Right here, obviously. Keep the orientation. Slide it off. Nope. See, I told you. Make sure it's started for yourself. Nice and tight. One loop. Cross. Oh, one loop, two loop, cross. I didn't say it, but keep it tight. One loop, two loop, cross, one loop, cut away from yourself. Just like that, this section is all set. Now we, again, not doing this one until this is all set and that is all set. We have another one just like that here, and you know, don't work against yourself. We'll revisit when we start reassembling the dash when I get this all tidied up. But again, you don't have to do the whole thing. You don't have to, you know, insulate the whole thing. The factory doesn't do it, you don't have to do it. This is more just along the lines of making sure that it all stays together and it's not floating around. You know, that type of thing. Now this is a perfect opportunity to reassure your car that the new vocabulary that it just learned wasn't directed at it. Instead, it was directed at the engineer that you personally would like to break the rules of linear time and pay him a visit, or her. Either way, some strong words would be shared with that person. Anyways, the wiring harness has been completely reinstalled, and I'm really happy with the results. And let's see. I would say that that is a great success. Now we got to go ahead, put the rest of the dashboard together, and once we get that together, we're going to bring it down to the local shop and get the new exhaust installed, because we got that now. Woohoo! Other than that, yeah, we have a couple wires dangling down here. They are going to be used for, well, that's a courtesy light. But we have a couple wires dangling down here that we're going to use for the line lock, and we'll cover that in a different video. But let's go ahead, pop this thing back together, and I'm pretty excited, guys. Well, I gotta say, I'm really pumped to have this thing back together. The wiring was not as bad as I was expecting, but that's not saying much. I figured this was going to be a total atrocity, but I guess my background as being an electrician helped me out a little bit. I don't know. The key is just take your time, you know, check the continuity between any wire you're pulling out, make sure it's the wire you want to pull out, go to the one line diagram, check the color code on it, trace it back, double check everything you do. Some things you might even want to triple check, because once it's out, it's going to be a nightmare to get it back in. So fortunately, we didn't have any clips or anything break on us. Everything seems to be in really good shape. The dashboard went in really nicely, and we are ready to rock and roll. And I haven't started up the car yet with the dashboard in it, so let's go ahead, hook up power, and see if she starts up. And then I know my neighbors will be very happy when the exhaust goes on. Have a fire extinguisher on hand just in case. Oh. I disconnected the starter right here. I was like, oh no, it doesn't want to start. I should probably also put a neutral safety switch in it, but yeah, I need to do that, don't I? It doesn't like the cold too. If you're in New York, don't delete cold start stuff. It's not a smart thing to do. Alright, nothing lit on fire. Happy about that. Go ahead, take the rest of it apart, or the rest of it, take the battery back apart, and tomorrow we're going to go ahead and start cleaning up the floor, get it prepped, and get the sound deadening in there. We want this thing ready to rock and roll. We have 2 weeks. We have, like, I want to say 12 days before this thing should make a pass at Lebanon Valley Speedway. So we get an idea with this swap with the 1UZ-FE, all the emissions deleted, stage 1 clutch mounted to the lightest flywheel you can get for this thing. You can throw it like a frisbee. R154 transmission, which really wakes up the 1UZ-FE, and then all aluminum drive shaft mounted to a 430 rear diff. So I'm curious to see what this combination will bring down at the valley. And so we got a pitter patter. I know we have carpet kit coming, but I don't know if it'll be here in time. So if we have to put the seats in and then take them back out and then put them back in, not ideal, but we'll do what we have to do. So on that, it was a freezing day today. I'm happy I was able to get as far as I did. We have a storm brewing, so I want to just clean up so I'm not stuck in the middle of whatever is gonna, happen. Rain, snow, sleet, fire and brimstone. Who knows? It's New York. We could have dragons flying around. I don't know. So that's it. We have things to connect on the other wiring harness that goes to, just stuff that we don't need. Well, we do need it, but in order for us to drive it. So it's just more heat stuff, comfortability. And phase 2. Here we go. I'm really pumped, guys. You guys have yourselves a beautiful day. Remember, as always, keep your shiny side up, and God bless. What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be starting on phase 2. Phase 2 should make this thing absolutely killer, absolutely spectacular. The new camera sees everything. This is the Eye of Sauron.